demonstration of viral culture by embryonated egg techniques. So it is demonstration of virus cultures by embryonated egg techniques. So what is this? We will see. So before this, I would like to give some important things like uh, tell me one important thing, students. Can we able to replicate or can we able to grow a virus in a agar medium? Can we grow virus in a agar medium like bacteria or fungi?
No, sir.
No. So what is the reason?
Sir,
Why?
it's required any living host.
Yes, it requires a living host or living cells for the viral replication. We cannot grow a virus in a inanimate medium. So medias are broadly divided into two types. One is animate medium and other one is inanimate medium. So when I'm saying animate, animate matlab life. The media that has life. Life means living cells. So living cells containing medias are called animate medias, and living cells that does not contain um, in the media where we won't have any living cells. Such media are called inanimate media. So inanimate media means your agar cultures, SDA, agar, all these will come under inanimate medias. Whereas animate medias means here we will get cell cultures, tissue cultures, and animal inoculations. All these will come under organ, plant, all organ cultures. All these will come under animate culture medias. Okay. So we require a living cell media for the growth of viruses. Okay, so basically we have uh, many types of animate medias or living medias. So one such example will be human cells. So we can take any one particular human cell, say for example, thyroid cells, and we can suspend these cells in a living condition. We can suspend this in a petri dish where we can provide all the nutritions so that the living cells will start growing in a petri dish. In this living cells, we can inoculate a virus and we can grow a virus. But it will take a lot of efforts. It will take a lot of things we need to consider when we are trying to maintain a living cells outside the body. We need to give a constant nutrients to the cells, and that is a very costly affair. Even after maintaining everything, cells won't survive not more than 7 days. Within 1 week to 10 days, the cells will be destroyed. The cells will go for senescence stage. Senescence means the cells will be get older and they will die eventually within 10 days. So there are many drawbacks of maintaining a living culture media. The major drawback is cells cannot live not more than 10 days outside the body, even though we are providing all the nutrients that the cells require. So at this time, we got an alternative approach where a scientist named Goodpasture. So this I think his name is Robert Gay. So Robert Gay, he has introduced uh, a new technique of culturing the viruses by using embryonated eggs. So what he did is he took an egg and he incubated the egg. After incubating the egg, what will happen? Embryo will start growing inside the egg. Baby chicken will start growing inside the egg after 21 days. So what we will do is we will take this embryonated egg. After 11 to 12 days, we will take this egg and we will destroy the embryo or we will introduce the virus into this embryo. So that is why it is called embryonated egg culture. So here we are taking a chicken embryo and we will introduce viruses. So in the chicken embryo, we will have all the living cells. So within in this living cells, we can able to grow the virus. So such technique is called embryonated egg culturing technique, which is extensively used for growing the viruses. So before introducing this embryonated egg culture or this technique, millions of animals has been sacrificed for the sake of growing viruses. We used to use rats, monkeys, rabbits, sheep. All these animals has been utilized for the growing of these viruses. So after growing these viruses, those animals will die because those animals will get these diseases, this viral disease, and they will die. So that is why uh, this embryonated egg techniques has been um, saved millions of animals' lives. Okay, so today's aim is to demonstrate embryonated egg for viral cultivation. Okay, so how to prepare this embryonated egg, we will discuss. So the materials required. Can you hear me, students? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so coming to the materials required. So first we require a egg, obviously. So we need a wild chicken egg. Keep in mind, we need a wild egg, not our poultry eggs or the eggs we are using for a eating purpose. Those eggs cannot be incubated. Those eggs cannot become a babies. So they are genetically modified eggs. The only sole purpose of these eggs is for nutrients, but they cannot give any life. Okay, so we need a wild egg, and we need an incubator for incubating the egg to develop the embryo. Then we need disinfectants, candle light, egg holders, cotton and spirit, egg driller, syringe, discard tray, vaccine and markers and personal protective equipment. I will tell the importance of all of this. So just let me move on to the next slide, then you will understand these materials. So I will show you here. Okay. So he is Good Pastor. So Good Pastor and Robert Gay. So both of them has developed this technique called embryonated egg culture. So by using this embryonated egg, we can able to grow the viruses. Now, so what we need to do to develop this egg is, so first we will take an egg. Okay, we will take an egg and we will incubate the egg at right temperature. So around 40 degrees centigrade, we will incubate this egg for almost 7 to 11 days. So upon incubation for 11 days, the embryo will start growing inside the egg. Now, how we will know that whether embryo growing in the egg or not? How to detect a growing embryo in an egg? To detect that growing embryo, what we can do is we can place the egg in front of a strong light. So you just take a light source. Okay. So you take a light source and you keep the egg in front of this light source. So by keeping egg in front of light source, what will happen? The whatever substance present inside the egg, that will be visualized. That will be visualized through this light, right? So by placing the egg in front of the light, we can able to see whether there is any embryo or not. If there is embryo means we can see a dark spot. Presence of dark spot or reddish dark spot within the egg indicates presence of embryo. And detection of this embryo is called candling. The yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. 17, 18. Um, okay. So placing egg in front of a light to visualize the embryo presence is called candling. Okay. This candling is a technique where we can able to identify presence of embryo within a egg. Okay. Then we kept the egg in front of a strong light and we came to know that there is a embryo within the egg. So upon confirmation of this embryo, we need to also assess whether the embryo is alive or dead. Having baby chick is not only the thing. We need to ensure that the baby chick is alive or not. If it is already dead means we cannot use it for viral cultivation. So we need to ensure that the baby chick is alive. So for that, if you are tapping the egg or if you are keeping the egg in front of a light, the embryo will start moving. It will start responding to the stimuli. Only a responding embryo need to be taken. Only a living embryo must be taken for viral cultivation. So you also need to carefully observe whether the embryo is alive or not. So that is the second step. So the second step is you need to ensure whether the embryo is alive or not. Then embryo is alive. If the embryo is alive, then the third step will be you need to. So I will draw a egg diagram here. So this is an egg. So on the top portion, egg has a blunt portion and a somewhat point portion. So on the point portion, on the top you have something called air sac. At this point surface inside you will see air sac. Okay. So now you need to mark the egg. You need to mark the air sac of the egg. So you need to mark the air sac of the egg, or you can also mark different locations of egg depending upon the type of inoculation that I will tell later. So briefly, you need to mark the air sac of the egg. Okay. After marking this air sac, now you need to drill a hole in this area. And this making hole in the egg is called drilling. So for this drilling, we will use a specialized driller for the purpose of making a hole in the egg. And this process is called drilling. So drilling is for cutting the egg surface. So now we drilled a hole in the air sac of the egg. After drilling the hole, now you can take your viral culture, your virus sample medium. Okay, you can take a patient sample. Okay, so where there is a suspected virus. So you can take the virus inoculation and you can start inoculating the virus into the egg. So you can inoculate in multiple sites of the egg. So you have yolk sac, cam membrane, chorioallantoic membrane, chorioallantoic cavity, embryo, amniotic sac, yolk sac. You have multiple regions of the egg. That regions I will discuss later. So each virus has its own location for inoculation. Okay, for example, influenza virus will be inoculated in the yolk sac. Pox viruses will be inoculated in the cam membrane of the egg. And some other viruses will be introduced in various locations of the egg. So depending upon the type of virus you need to inoculate, you need to select the site and you need to introduce or you need to inoculate the virus into the appropriate site of the embryonated egg. So after inoculating the virus, now you introduce virus into the embryonated egg. After introducing the egg, you need to seal the portion. Okay, you need to seal the portion. So now you introduce the virus. Then after introducing the virus, you need to seal this hole. This drilled hole must be sealed. If you are not sealing it, the egg will be contaminated by bacteria. The egg will be contaminated by any pathogens. It can be fungi, it can be bacteria. So in order to keep the egg sterile, you need to seal the portion. So you can seal the egg by using wax, or you can use it by using some cellophane tape. So by that you can seal the drilled area. So after sealing the egg, you need to re-incubate the egg inside an incubator. So keep the egg alive in the alive state by incubating the egg. So within 3 to 4 days, viral will destroy the embryo. Viral will start growing inside the egg and it will destroy the embryo. Within 5 days, we will go for observing the egg. We will go for observing whether the virus cultivated in the egg or not. For this purpose, we need to destroy the embryo. We need to break the egg and we need to destroy the embryo. And this process is called harvesting of virus. Harvesting of virus means here we will destroy the embryonated egg for observing the viral presence. And this particular step is called as harvesting of the egg or harvesting of the virus. Now, is the signs to say inoculated in the egg or virus present in the egg, that can be stated by absence of motility to the embryo. Why the embryo don't have any motility? Because embryo died. If the embryo died means that indicates, yes, the embryo has been infected by a virus. So by this we can able to identify viral growth. So viral growth can be indirectly identified by destroying of embryo. So if the embryo died means that indicates virus destroyed the embryo. Then we will open the, we will cut the again we will see certain viral presences. We have something called cytopathic effects. We have something called inclusion bodies. So we have different types of cytopathic effects. Like we have syncytial formation, then we have necrosis of cells, enlargement of cells. These cytopathic effects are unique to individual viruses. So by observing cytopathic effects and by observing inclusion bodies within the cell, we can able to pinpoint the type of virus infected to the egg. So that cytopathic effects and inclusion bodies is beyond the scope of this practical that we will discuss in the next session. So as of today, we will only focus on the embryonated egg, how to prepare this embryonated egg and how to inoculate virus into the embryonated egg is our practical. So here basically what we are doing, we will take a wild egg, we will incubate it for 11 days. Then after 11 days, we will see whether there is embryo or not. To observe the presence of embryo, we will keep this egg in front of a strong light, which is called candle light. And this procedure is called candling. So by keeping egg in front of a strong light, we will see presence of embryo. If there is embryo, then we will mark the blunt portion of the egg, the top portion of the egg, and we will make a hole in the top portion. It is called drilling. So after making drilling on the airspace of the egg with a driller, then we will introduce the virus. We will inoculate the virus into the specific location in the egg. Then after introducing the virus, we will seal the drill area. Then we will re-incubate the egg in a incubator. Then after 5 to 4 days, we will observe for death of the chicken. If the embryo died, means that indicates positive for viral growth. This is called embryonated egg culture and its technique. Now let us go to the slides now. So this is how an embryonated egg looks like. So it contains an embryo, and so we can use a hen egg, duck egg, or we can also use a turkey's egg, turkey chicken egg. Then selection of egg. So whenever we are selecting an egg, we need to ensure that the bird is not vaccinated. The egg should be sterile. Egg should not have any cracks, and egg should be free of any debris. Then we can incubate the egg around 39 degrees centigrade at 60 to 70% humidity conditions. Okay. Now egg will be incubated in a incubating jar. Then after 11 days, we will take the egg and we will go for the embryo in the egg. That is called candling. So by keeping the egg in front of a strong light, we can able to see the presence of embryo inside the egg. Okay, so this process is called candling. After candling, sometimes we can also keep egg in this box called candling box. Okay, in this box we have a strong light, so we can use candling box to visualize the embryo in the egg. Okay, so this is one type of candling box. Then after candling, if it is live embryo will have blood vessels and embryo will move to the light. If it is dead, you will see dark spot with disrupted blood vessels. Then we need to mark the site of air sac in the egg. So at the top blunt portion, you will mark it with a marker. Then after marking, you will place the egg in a egg holder. So this is called egg holder or egg stand. So in this egg holder, you will keep the egg and you will start drilling a hole in the egg. So you will drill a hole with the help of this drilling tools. Okay, you can use any regular drilling tools for drilling a hole in the egg. So after drilling the hole, you need to introduce virus into a specific location of the egg, and that is called virus inoculation. So virus can be inoculated in multiple sites of the egg. Okay, so you will inoculate the virus with the help of syringe into the specific location of the egg. After inoculating, you will seal the drilled area with the help of nail polish or cellophane tape. So with the help of wax, nail polish, or with the help of cellophane tape, you will seal the area, you will seal the drilled area, and you will re-incubate the egg at 37 degrees centigrade. So within few days, within 2 to 3 days, you will see destruction of the egg, destruction of the embryo. So that destroyed embryo indicates that the presence of virus, and you will harvest the virus. Okay. So this is all about the embryonated egg. In order to understand the other slides, you should have a thorough understanding about theoretical aspects of virology. So after finishing of cytopathic efforts and inclusion bodies, I will come back to this point, okay? What are inclusion bodies and what are cytopathic efforts, I will discuss later. So as of now, you just remember the procedure of making an embryonated egg. So this is the overall procedure. So the procedure is, first we need to swab the ends of the egg. So we need to swab the ends of the egg with 70% ethanol. So that means you need to wipe the surface of the egg cleanly with the help of ethanol, 70% ethanol. So after wiping the egg with 70% ethanol, you need to place used cotton wool in a disc. So just keep your cotton in a discard tray. Then candle the egg with a high intensity LED torch. So this is already incubated egg. Okay. So we took an incubated egg and we wiped or we cleaned the outer surface. Then we placed this egg in front of a strong light, which is called candling. Then after candling, we will draw a line on the shell marking the airspace. So we will mark the airspace region of the egg. Then after marking the airspace with the help of sterile eggshell puncher. So with the help of eggshell puncher, we will make a hole at the airspace of the egg. So we will drill a small hole in the airspace area of the egg. So after drilling a hole with the help of 1 ml syringe, we will inoculate viral suspension into the embryonated egg. So we will inoculate virus into the incubated egg. Then after inoculating the virus, we will close. We will close the drilled area with help of stationary tape or melted wax. So with the help of melted wax or with stationary tape, we will seal the portion and we will incubate the egg for next 2 to 3 days. So within 2 to 3 days, we must get a viral growth. So whenever we are handling this incubated egg, we need to be very cautious because it is highly hazard. We need to keep a biohazard symbol to the incubator because in it we have a live virus. A deadly virus is inoculating or growing inside this egg. So you need to be very cautious. Okay. Then that's it. So within after successful inoculation of virus or growth of virus, you can see either presence of poxes, this the nodule-like surfaces on the cam membrane of the egg, or you will see dead chicken. So either dead chicken or presence of poxes in the cam membrane of egg indicates positive for viral growth. Further, we can go for cytopathic effects and inclusion bodies for pinpointing the type of virus we inoculated. Now, what are the sites of inoculation of virus? So inside the egg, we have various portions, like we have air sac, then we have double membrane called chorioallantoic membrane. So this is called chorioallantoic membrane, which is double layer. Within this chorioallantoic membrane, there is a space called chorionic allantoic. It is called allantoic cavity. So within this, we have a space called allantoic cavity. Then we have yolk sac. Then you have amniotic fluid. And then at the bottom, you will see albumin. So various viruses will be introduced into various sites of the egg. For example, in the amniotic cavity, you will introduce influenza and mumps virus. Whereas in the yolk sac, you will incubate herpes simplex virus. Whereas in the allantoic cavity, you will inoculate influenza, mumps, Newcastle disease, and avian adenoviruses. And in the chorioallantoic membrane or cam membrane, you will inoculate herpes, pox, and rhinoviruses, rhino and roa sarcoma viruses. So various viruses have various sites of inoculation in the embryonated egg. This we will discuss in the theory classes. So the advantages of embryonated egg is it is widely used method for isolating of viruses and their growth. Ideal substrate for viral growth and replication. For the purpose of isolation and cultivation of many avian viruses, it is a cost effective and maintenance is very easier. compared to the cell cultures or tissue cultures. It requires less members for the preparation of embryonated egg, and the eggs are readily available everywhere. And eggs can be used in a sterile conditions without much biohazard problems. Okay, and they are free from contaminating bacteria because since the eggs are alive, there is an ongoing immune system that will prevent other organisms to grow inside these eggs. So these are the major advantages of embryonated egg. So the disadvantages of embryonated egg are highly trained technicians are required to handle these embryonated eggs. And also, we cannot culture viruses in a regular laboratories. We need at least BSL-3 laboratories for growing the viruses. We need a highly standardized NABL accredited biosafety level 3 laboratories for the growing of viruses. Okay, only in the research laboratories we can able to culture the viruses. So it is highly costly affair. So we need a standardized infrastructure for growing these viruses. So these are the major disadvantages of embryonated egg. So this is all about embryonated egg. I will show you a video on embryonated egg. So let us see a YouTube video of embryonated egg.
And then the Ectius side will be on the
So kindly watch this.
and then
So
the
this is an
Ectius
already incubated egg.
side will be on the top because over here the ESA is. We'll examine it. Then
Already she's doing it. So watch.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire,
Of the virus in an embryonated egg. The objective is to study the different routes of viral inoculation in the embryonated eggs. Materials required for this experiment are eggs, 9-day-old or 10-day-old embryonated eggs, eggshell punch, cotton, spirit, 1 milliliter disposable syringe, stationary tape, viral suspension, biohazard box. An embryonated egg offers various sites for the cultivation of viruses. The different sites of viral inoculation in embryonated eggs are choriolandoic membrane, amniotic cavity, the landoic routes meant.
So we will take the embryonated egg. We will candle it. See
Grammarly does more than
the
catch
embryo.
errors. With Grammarly, you can find.
So after candling, we will observe the various sides of the egg. Then we will mark the site of air sac. So we mark the air sac site. And we also mark the area of inoculation of virus. Then with the help of sterile cotton, you will apply 70% ethanol. And you will wipe the surface of the egg. After wiping, you need to drill a hole in the egg. After drilling the hole, you can take your syringe and you can take your virus sample. Then this virus sample can be inoculated into the virus, the incubated egg. Here they're introducing it to allantoic cavity. So upon inoculating. You need to discard the waste in a biohazard bin. Then you need to seal the egg with a cellophane tape or with nail polish or wax. So after sealing it, you need to incubate the egg. So that's it. You need to incubate the egg, okay? So after incubating the egg, you can see for observing cytopathic effects and incubation. So in this video, they are showing multiple regions like alveolar cavity, cam membrane, this yolk sac, amniotic sac, all these are showing in the video that I will discuss in the theory class. Okay. So this is all about embryonated egg culture. Is it clear for everyone, students? Any more doubts in embryonated egg? I hope not. So what we can do is, in your lab records, you need to write the following points. So first write the aim, then write materials and methods, materials, then write the procedure. Okay, so you need to write this procedure, then you need to write expected results, then draw this diagram. Everyone must draw this particular diagram in the records. Okay, then write advantages and disadvantages. That's it. So until here, everyone must write. Okay, so these 4 slides you must write in the record. Aim, materials, procedure, this diagram, advantages and disadvantages. So until disadvantages, everyone must write in the lab. Okay, in the record. So thank you very much, students. You can leave. Yes.
Thank you, sir.